Hey, Flo here. Good morning. I'm off on a early morning mountain hike today. I wanted to get in some Bible readings, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. This is not a live stream. It's recorded locally, but I'll do a kind of switch back and forth between the two today. But I'm going to try to not jibber jabber too much because I want to do as many readings as I can today. It's kind of my goal. So the first reading for today is kind of a make-up reading because I didn't quite finish the reading from the last one. So we'll do Psalm 18, 35, and Acts 14. While I'm thinking about it, I should do this thing. Okay. Oh, I did get a lot done on the script stuff. I finished I can't remember what I said on my last stream talking about it, but I got the slide generator thing to work so I can do offline recordings and then add the slides later, which is pretty cool. Did a bunch of other stuff, but nothing important. All right, let's get to it. I'll probably do a second reading here because there's a pretty awesome view right over there. Psalm chapter 18, for the choir master, of David the servant of the Lord, who sang this song to the Lord on the day the Lord had delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said, I love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The cords of death encompassed me, the torrents of chaos overwhelmed me. The cords of Sheol entangled me, the snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, I cried to my God for help. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry for his help reached his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked, and the foundations of the mountains trembled. They were shaken because he burned with anger. Smoke rose from his nostrils, and consuming fire came from his mouth. Glowing coals blazed forth. He parted the heavens and came down with dark clouds beneath his feet. He mounted a cherub and flew. He soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his hiding place, and storm clouds a canopy around him. From the brightness of his presence his clouds advanced, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord thundered from heaven, the voice of the Most High resounded, hailstones and coals of fire. He shot his arrows and scattered the foes. He hurled lightning and routed them. The channels of the sea appeared, and the fountains of the world were exposed, at your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from foes too mighty for me. They confronted me in my day of calamity, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into the open. He rescued me because he delighted in me. The Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness. He has repaid me according to the cleanness of my hands. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his ordinances are before me. I have not disregarded his statutes. And I have been blameless before him, and kept myself from iniquity. So the Lord has repaid me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. To the faithful you show yourself faithful. To the blameless you show yourself blameless. To the pure you show yourself pure. But to the crooked you show yourself shrewd. For you save an afflicted people, but you humble those with haughty eyes. For you, O Lord, light my lamp. My God lights up my darkness. For in you I can charge an army, and with my God I can scale a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is flawless. He is a shield to all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides the Lord? And who is the rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and makes my way clear. He makes my feet like those of a deer and stations me upon the heights. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have given me your shield of salvation. Your right hand upholds me, and your gentleness exalts me. You broaden the path beneath me so that my ankles do not give way. I pursued my enemies and overtook them. I did not turn back until they were consumed. I crushed them so they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet. You have armed me with strength for battle. You have subdued my foes beneath me. You have made my enemies retreat before me. I put an end to those who hated me. They cried for help, but there was no one to save them. To the Lord, but he did not answer. I ground them as dust in the face of the wind. I trampled them like mud in the streets. You have delivered me from the strife of the people. You have made me the head of nations. A people I had not known shall serve me. When they hear me, they obey me. Foreigners cower before me. Foreigners lose heart and come trembling from their strongholds. The Lord lives, and blessed be my rock, and may the God of my salvation be exalted. The God who avenges me and subdues nations beneath me, who delivers me from my enemies. You exalt me above my foes. You rescue me from violent men. Therefore I will praise you, O Lord, among the nations. I will sing praises to your name. Great salvation he brings to his king. He shows loving devotion to his anointed, to David and his descendants forever. Psalm 35 of David. Contend with my opponents, O Lord. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up your shield and buckler. Arise and come to my aid. Draw the spear and javelin against my pursuers. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who plan to harm me be driven back and confounded. May they be like chaff in the wind, as the angel of the Lord drives them away. May their path be dark and slick, as the angel of the Lord pursues. For without cause they laid their net for me. Without reason they dug a pit for my soul. May ruin befall them by surprise. May the net they hid ensnare them. May they fall into the hazard they created. Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and exult in his salvation. All my bones will exclaim, Who is like you, O Lord, who delivers the afflicted from the aggressor, the poor and needy from the robber? Hostile witnesses come forward. They make charges I know nothing about. They repay me evil for good, to the bereavement of my soul. Yet when they were ill, I put on sackcloth. I humbled myself with fasting. But my prayers returned unanswered. I paced about as for my friend or brother. I was bowed down with grief, like one mourning for his mother. But when I stumbled, they assembled in glee. They gathered together against me. Assailants I did not know slandered me without ceasing. Like godless jesters at a feast, they gnashed their teeth at me. How long, O Lord, will you look on? Rescue my soul from their ravages, my precious life from these lions. Then I will give you thanks in the great assembly. I will praise you among many people. Let not my enemies gloat over me without cause, nor those who hate me without reason wink in malice. For they do not speak peace, but they devise deceitful schemes against those who live quietly in the land. They gape at me and say, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen. O Lord, you have seen it. Be not silent. O Lord, be not far from me. Awake and rise to my defense, to my cause, my God and my Lord. Vindicate me by your righteousness, O Lord my God, and do not let them gloat over me. Let them not say in their hearts, Aha, just what we wanted. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. May those who gloat in my distress be ashamed and confounded. May those who exalt themselves over me be clothed in shame and reproach. May those who favor my vindication shout for joy and gladness. May they always say, Exalted be the Lord, who delights in his servants' well-being. Then my tongue will proclaim your righteousness and your praises all day long. Just realized I still have my headlamp on. I actually started this hike somewhat in the dark. This is all tangled now. Sun is up, but the clouds are kind of covering it. It'll eventually get up above the trees. Acts chapter 14. At Iconium, Paul and Barnabas went as usual into the Jewish synagogue, where they spoke so well that a great number of Jews and Greeks believed. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and poisoned their minds against the brothers. So Paul and Barnabas spent considerable time there, speaking boldly for the Lord, who affirmed the message of his grace by enabling them to perform signs and wonders. The people of the city were divided. Some sided with the Jews, and others with the apostles. But when the Gentiles and Jews, together with their rulers, set out to mistreat and stone them, they found out about it and fled to the Lycaonian cities of Lystra and Derbe and to the surrounding region, where they continued to preach the gospel. In Lystra there sat a man crippled in his feet, who was lame from birth and had never walked. This man was listening to the words of Paul, who looked intently at him and saw that he had faith to be healed. In a loud voice Paul called out, "Stand up on your feet!" And the man jumped up and began to walk. When the crowd saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices in the Lycaonian language. "The gods have come down to us in human form." Barnabas they called Zeus, and Paul they called Hermes, because he was the chief speaker. The priest of Zeus, whose temple was just outside the city, brought bulls and wreaths to the city gates, hoping to offer a sacrifice along with the crowds. But when the apostles Barnabas and Paul found out about this, they tore their clothes and rushed into the crowd, shouting, "Men, why are you doing this? We too are only men, human like you. We are bringing you good news that you should turn from these worthless things to the living God, who made heaven and earth and sea and everything in them. In past generations he let all nations go their own way. Yet he has not left himself without testimony to his goodness. He gives you rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling your hearts with food and gladness." Even with these words, Paul and Barnabas could hardly stop the crowds from sacrificing to them. Then some Jews arrived from Antioch and Iconium and won over the crowds. They stoned Paul and dragged him outside the city, presuming he was dead. But after the disciples had gathered around him, he got up and went back into the city. And the next day he left with Barnabas for Derbe. They preached the gospel to that city and made many disciples. Then they returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch, strengthening the souls of the disciples and encouraging them to continue in the faith. "We must endure many hardships to enter the kingdom of God," they said. Paul and Barnabas appointed elders for them in each church, praying and fasting as they entrusted them to the Lord, in whom they had believed. After passing through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. And when they had spoken the word in Perga, they went down to Attalia. And from Attalia they sailed to Antioch, where they had been commended to the grace of God for the work they had just completed. When they arrived, they gathered the church together and reported all that God had done through them, and how he had opened the door of faith to the Gentiles. And they spent a long time there with the disciples. It's so weird. Like the sun came up and it got way colder all of a sudden. Like as I was reading, it's just like, whoo, just went down like 10 degrees. And it's a little bit breezy now. I know the sun can have that effect where before it comes up, it's just kind of calm, and then it starts changing temperatures, causing currents and different things. But that was weird. It's just like, woo, it's freezing now. I was actually pretty comfortable, and then it just got really cold. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to end this one, but I'll do another one right after it because there's a really awesome view to the side over there. So thanks for joining me on this one. I'll be back in a minute.